family concerning the judgment of May 2nd. As I go through the pages. Official statement by the Anyola Abekunle family regarding the kidnapping, rape, murder of Bamise and the court judgments. Introduction. The Anyola Abekunle family stand before you today, humbled and grief-stricken, to address the heinous crime that took the life of our beloved daughter, Bamise, and the stance of the court judgments. We appreciate the opportunity to share our thoughts, concerns, and gratitude with the nation and the world at large.
My name is James Joel, and I'm a member of the family. I want to really give the full picture of what really happened because, in all fairness, I came in late and I saw my brother speaking. He didn't really hit some points that I really expected him to talk about. It was myself, Brother Peter, who happened to be the eldest son of the Abegunde's family, and Mrs. Oni, who we call Mama Bamise, who happened to be the boss of Bamise, that went to confirm the death of Bamise on that very Sunday night. And on getting to the station, we confirmed. Then fast forward to the following day, which was on Monday, we headed for the morgue to go confirm the corpse. On our way to the morgue, the DPO of that very police station, I can't remember if it's a Butse or a Butse police station, he was driving in front while we were driving behind with a Corolla. He stopped at the bridge, Qatar Bridge precisely, and then he led us to the scene where Bamise's corpse was recovered. Now, at the scene, he said that it was a passerby that came to the station to report that a corpse had been dropped. He never said they threw a corpse. Please, let's get it right. Because according to what they've been saying, it's like according to what's it called? The autopsy report of maybe they pushed air off the moving bus. No. The police men at Ibuteru, they are aware of what really happened. Me, I don't like mincing words. I love hitting the nail on the head. Now, they said some men came down with a woman. They carried air and they dropped air beside the bridge. And then they entered a black Jeep. The BRT bus moved and the SUV followed. Now we asked, the DPO now said something. He said, unfortunately, the CCTV camera in his station, the distance is not even up to where she was dropped. But in all fairness, if we are to check the CCTV, the bus would have passed where the CCTV passed. And if investigation is to be carried out properly, then you have to like reverse that footage. You check the cars that followed the BRT bus. Whatever car that followed, once you find a black SUV, even if it is 5 in number, they have plate numbers. VIO will provide the details. Now we got to the morgue, we confirmed the death. Fine, she was already abandoned because it took like 9 days before we confirmed it was Bamise. So, you know, they call it Gendu. The corpse had already swollen to a certain stage. Now, it took them over an hour to recover the corpse because it was amongst many. So it's not just one. When corpses are picked up, they are not processed. They are abandoned. So you should imagine the kind of eyesore and the trauma that would have been running. So she was brought in clean and then every other thing to check if there was mutilation and so on and so forth. Now, before then, while we were still trying to track the driver, because I was the person that really tracked his location to Shagam, it was same location where the driver was, that Bamise's phone was. Same location. It's not like, okay, one is 3 or 4 kilometers apart. Same location. Now, they doubted us, but in the long run, they said he was arrested. They brought him in. You know, the driver gave him two press briefing. In the first one that happened that night, he said he did something. That was why he went into hiding. And in the second one, he said the one he held inside the CP's office back then, he said they came in and then they pointed gun at him. So he was free jetting. So they started dragging Bamise. It was when they were dragging her that he zoomed off. I don't see how they will drag someone in a moving bus and they will jump off. 3 persons, a lady and 2 male. They will not jump off a moving BRT bus. It's not possible. It's not negotiable. We should stop beating, we should stop pretending like trying to paint white and black white. It's not possible. It's not. Now, we crossed that line. It took the police less than 24 hours to arrest the driver after they became aware that the family has discovered that Bamise has lost her life. Less than 24 hours. Before then, we have been going from pillar to post, from mountain to Zion to find solutions and the whereabouts of our younger sister. In fact, myself and Belumi, we visited the then SA in transport to the governor. He said, and I quote, he said, LBSL is a private entity. BRT is not government owned. And we could remember, after that scene, the governor came out and said that every BRT bus in Lagos has a CCTV camera, a working camera, and they don't owe anybody an apology. That's just the meaning of what he said. But fast forward to the discovery of the driver, of the death of Bamise, and then every other thing that came forth. He never came out to apologize, not for once. And in the long run, they said there was no camera, no working camera inside that BRT. Now, take note, that BRT bus is not the old model. It is the new model. It's the new model. So all this issue of this, that, those are lies. Me, I would say it. The police did not do any investigation. And if they did, they are trying to cover what we need to know. Because in all fairness, Bamise gave us, she had already given us the path to justice. She told us the driver did not stop at any point to pick up anybody, even if people were waving him down. But he got a particular spot, he picked up some certain persons. And then he reroutes. He didn't go via his route, he had to go through another route. So it means something is fishy there. If our laws give room for, okay, if you are a lawyer and you know this person is guilty and you come to defend the person, once the person is found guilty, you've lost your license. Like what happened to James Ibori in the UK, where he was sentenced and his lawyer was also what? Sentenced. That is what we call justice. You will see lawyers who sit right. This is a murder case, for crying out loud. It is not an attempted murder. Now, you're now telling us, this is what... In fact, if you were in court, for those that were in court, you agree with me that every investigation that was carried out by the Nigerian police, everything that was brought to the court to nail the killer driver, everything was striked out by the sitting judge because they were all flawed. It was just the voice notes and the video she did that served her justice on the part of only the driver. There was no single investigation that the court acted on. Now, let me say something. I was at lawsuits when the autopsy was carried out. And some fluid were taken from a specimen. And they promised that the results will be outside to determine if the driver also had carnal knowledge of Bamise. And if it was only one person, 2 or 3. I can tell you for free that as we are seated, this is 3 years, we've not gotten the results of that specimen. So who is deceiving who? I was opportune to meet a man. I'll soon, one of these days, I'll bring him out to the media. He was working with LBSL as at the time this issue happened. He said, and I could, because he was a supervisor then with the cleaners. He said when that bus arrived, that fateful Saturday, it was himself and his team that washed off blood from that bus. And then LBSL is telling us they don't have hand in it. But remember, it is Lamata that employs BRT drivers. So officially, the driver is a government employee. So now, judgment has been passed, death by hanging. It will only be signed by the sitting governor. The prosecuting judge can only give judgment. The only person that can make sure it is implemented is the executive. Our state governor has not given one single speech on that note. If you think we are worth listening to, a press statement, even if not, or a press briefing would have been passed to that note to assure Lagosians that your safety is paramount.
So the point that we as a human rights organization we are concerned with is the fact that Bamise has started the process of getting the culprit. Because if at the point she was inside the BRT bus, if she had not been communicating with her friends, she told them nobody will know how she died. Nobody will have known. But that information that she was passing to her friend, she already gave the instant of, oh yes, this was what was happening, and from there the family and the organization took it off. And that was the reason, right here in this world, on the 11th of June 2022, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights gave Bamise a posthumous award of Woman of Courage. So at that point in time, she could have been panicking, these people will still do what they wanted to do. But she was so bold, she developed courage and exposed the activity. So at that point now, what you are now saying is this. The other people who are inside that vehicle, if the police want to do it, I believe they can do it. While the court, when the voice of Bamise was played, and she was telling her friend, they say, who are those in the outside? Okay, two other people among women, please pray for me. The voice was played, we had it in the court. So I think if they follow up, or even the culprit himself, who is now condemned, has he been questioned, who are these other people in the vehicle? So what we are saying is that judgment was given, but justice has not been fully served. Because those culprits too, let them be identified, named, and brought to justice. So that, which means from Bamise's voice, it was not only Andrew that was inside the vehicle. Even in one of the other court sittings, the DPP mentioned that the death of Bamise was caused by Andrew, and others still at large. If others are still at large, who is going to look for those others? That's the job of the police. And I believe the Nigerian police is very, very capable to do that, so that then there will be justice. Then the issue of the phone belongs to Bamise. Now that judgment has been given, why can't the phone be returned to the family? It is our property, the political money. So why is anybody under the place, or why are they still keeping it? If they are still keeping it, they want to give us the impression that further investigation is still on to unravel the mystery and to know those three other people who are there inside the vehicle. But if not, if they think they have concluded the investigation and the matter is to be laid to rest, let the phone, which is our own property, be returned to the family. That is simply what I want. So we are in line with the decision of the family. But why was judgment delayed for 3 years? And like you said, I'm not bold to say it again. If Bamise has been the daughter of a known politician or the daughter of the governor, would the case spend up to 3 years? So this long delay before judgment is given gives room for a lot of insinuations. And that is the reason we are saying that, one, let those other people be identified. Well, since Andrew has been condemned and is sentenced to death and he dies, but those other people who are also culprits, are we sure they will not continue with the same thing? And again, questions have been asked, and I want to quickly, in few seconds, say, why was Bamise given a posthumous award by organization? If you listen to the judgment, we have been following the court case. Bamise was not the first victim of Andrew. It happened in November 2021, the case of Mary Jane, who was also raped in that same vehicle. The tongue cloth she was wearing that day was brought to the court and shown to everybody. So it happened in November 2021. In December again, somebody else was a victim, Dr. Victoria Anosike, another attempted rape. So which means, and like the judge said in her statement, who knew somebody else could have been a victim even in January? There could have been some other Bamises that were not known. If not until that of Bamise came out, that of Mary Jane was not even reported. So what we are now saying is that so Bamise was given that posthumous award. If not that this one was now exposed, there is every possibility that this same driver will have done it to somebody at the end of March, at the end of April, because it has almost become a monthly ritual. So this is why we are saying that government should go a step further. Oh, the judgment was fine, but until those other culprits are identified, are we sure they will not continue to do that thing? So let government take a step further. Let the government take a step further and address this issue, and those are belonging be returned to the family, and then adequate compensation if it was mentioned there. If they protect them, they cannot bring back the life. But let government show that sign that yes, this person who knew who she could have been in future could have been very, very great. Possibly a future first lady. Nobody can tell. And her life was terminated inside the government facility for that matter.